why you keep having the same argument. If you find yourself repeatedly having the same argument with your partner, it can feel incredibly frustrating. No matter how many times you discuss the issue, it seems like nothing changes. Why does this keep happening? It's not uncommon for couples to fall into patterns of repetitive arguments that don't seem to lead to resolution. While it might feel like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle, the truth is that these recurring fights often point to deeper issues in communication, unmet needs, or unresolved feelings. Let's break down the reasons why you keep having the same argument and explore how you can move beyond it to build a healthier, more productive dialogue with your partner. Number 1. You're not addressing the root cause. Sometimes the argument isn't really about what you think it's about. Often, couples argue about surface level issues like chores, money, or who's responsible for what, but these are just symptoms of deeper emotional needs that aren't being met. For example, if one partner feels neglected or unappreciated, a disagreement about something minor like leaving dirty dishes around might turn into a bigger argument. The surface issue gets blown out of proportion, but the real problem is emotional disconnection or unmet needs. To break the cycle, try to dig deeper and understand what's truly at the core of the argument. Are you feeling unheard, neglected, or unsupported? Identifying the root cause can help you both approach the issue more constructively and with empathy. Number 2, you're not really listening to each other. Effective communication isn't just about talking, it's also about listening. Often, couples in repeated arguments are so focused on getting their own point across that they forget to actively listen to their partner's perspective. When we don't feel heard, it can lead to frustration, making the argument go in cycles. If you feel like you're having the same fight over and over, it's likely that one or both of you are not truly listening. Instead of interrupting or waiting for your turn to speak, try to really listen and acknowledge your partner's feelings. For example, I hear you're feeling frustrated because I haven't been as present lately. Let's talk about how we can improve that. By validating each other's feelings, we can create a foundation for resolving the conflict and prevent the same arguments from resurfacing. Number 3, you're stuck in negative patterns of communication. Sometimes the way we communicate in arguments can lead to negative patterns that are hard to break. These patterns might include criticism, defensiveness, contempt, or stonewalling. Dr. John Gottman, a renowned marriage researcher, identifies these behaviors as major predictors of relationship breakdowns. For instance, if one partner constantly criticizes the other, it can create defensiveness, which only escalates the argument. Over time, these patterns become habitual, and each argument starts to feel like the last one. To break this cycle, try to be mindful of how you communicate during disagreements. Instead of using harsh words or attacking language, focus on I statements like, I feel upset when this happens, instead of, you always do this. This helps avoid triggering defensiveness and creates space for healthier discussions. Number 4, the same issue keeps coming up unresolved. If you find that you're having the same argument over and over, it might mean that the issue at hand hasn't been fully resolved. This can happen when one or both of you sweep the problem under the rug without addressing it properly, or when there isn't a clear resolution or compromise. For example, you might argue about how to handle finances, but instead of coming to an agreement or making a plan, you let the issue slide. Later, when another financial stress arises, the unresolved issue resurfaces. To avoid this, It's essential to resolve each conflict before moving on. It might mean taking a break to cool off and then coming back to discuss how you both can move forward. By ensuring that each argument ends with a resolution or a plan for action, you'll prevent the same issues from coming up time and time again. Number 5. You haven't found a compromise. Sometimes couples keep having the same argument because they're not willing to compromise. It's easy to get caught up in wanting to win the argument or have things go your way, but this approach often leads to frustration and repetitive conflicts. A healthy relationship requires both partners to give and take and to find solutions that work for both of you. If one person insists on always having their way, it creates imbalance and dissatisfaction. For example, if you're arguing about how much time you spend with friends or family, finding a compromise like agreeing on a certain number of weekends for personal time can help you both feel satisfied and heard. If you're stuck in an endless loop of arguments, try to focus on finding common ground rather than pushing for your own agenda. Number 6. You haven't healed from past wounds. If you're consistently fighting over the same things, it might be a sign that past wounds haven't fully healed. Unresolved issues from earlier in the relationship can resurface, causing old hurt to flare up in current arguments. For example, if one partner feels like they've been wrong in the past, whether it's from infidelity, broken promises, or emotional neglect, those unresolved feelings can color current disputes, even if the fight seems unrelated to the past. If this is the case, it's important to address these past issues directly, ideally with the help of a therapist or counselor, to fully heal and move forward. Only then can you move past old hurts and prevent them from being triggered during future disagreements. Number 7. You're avoiding deeper emotional conversations. Sometimes couples avoid difficult conversations because they're afraid of how the other person will react or because they don't want to face the deeper emotions at play. Instead, they stick to surface level arguments. However, avoiding the real issues doesn't make them go away. It just leads to repeated fights. If you find yourself in a loop of similar arguments, it may be time to dig a little deeper and discuss the underlying emotional issues that might be contributing to the conflict. Have an open and honest conversation about what you both really need from each other, and address any emotional gaps that might be driving the recurring disputes. Vulnerability and emotional openness are essential in breaking these cycles. Repeated arguments can feel draining, but they don't have to be the end of the road for your relationship. Understanding why you keep having the same fight is the first step toward breaking the cycle. Whether it's a matter of not addressing the root cause, poor communication patterns, unresolved issues, or an unwillingness to compromise, recognizing these patterns allows you to take proactive steps toward a healthier, more constructive dialogue. The key to moving forward is understanding each other's needs, truly listening, and working together to find solutions. Remember, conflict is a natural part of any relationship, but how you handle it can make all the difference in building a stronger, more resilient partnership.